everyone, so if you've been around my channel for a while now, you'll know that kind of my most loved and I think my most kind of commented videos on are always the woman to woman type of videos. And I thought today I'd talk to you about something that's a little bit different, because it's not necessarily about looks or anything like that. It's just about being confident within yourself as a person, and that's something that's very, very important. The light might be changing a little bit now because I've got a window kind of coming from that side and the sun's suddenly just come out and it's shining really brightly, so I don't know if it's making the light look weird, but that's something that I did struggle with and that I'm kind of at a much better place now, but I do still really struggle with it. And you're probably just thinking you're just basically a confidence mess, which in a lot of ways I probably am, but I'm talking more about kind of being content with yourself as a person and kind of dealing with other people's negativity about your I and that kind of thing. So if I had to describe myself as a person, let me start with that, because I know what I want to say, but I'm kind of struggling coming with the words to say it, if that makes sense. So I am a very open person. I don't keep things in very well. I can put on a face to other people, and there's certain parts of my life and parts of me that I don't want people to know about, so I can kind of glaze over that and make everything look how I want it to look. But with the people that I care about, I'm very, very open, and I'm someone who really, really struggles to, it's not that I struggle to lie, I struggle to not be honest, which is kind of the same, I suppose, as in if someone will ask me, like, you know, do you think this dress looks nice on me? I don't, and it doesn't. I really don't want to say, like, no, it doesn't, but I really, really struggle sounding sincere when I'm like, oh yeah, it looks lovely, and I just think they can so hear that you really don't think that. I'm not good at pretending like I think something. I wear my heart on my sleeve kind of thing, and you'll know if I don't like something, or if I don't like someone, which is even worse, you will know. I'm not good at hiding it, and I wish I was, because I think sometimes that makes life a little bit easier if you can kind of just always give the appropriate reaction. I'm not very good at that, and that's something that I have struggled with, because it doesn't necessarily make you that likable. And I am very, very opinionated. I come from a very opinionated household, and I'm quite judgmental as well, in that I have kind of got very clear morals of what I believe in, and I struggle to I have to remind myself that, you know, other people might not feel that way. I see everything through what I would do, and I know that that's not good, because there's not one way of doing things, and how you look at life can be completely different to how someone else looks at life. But I do struggle with kind of letting, I always think, you know, what would I do in that situation? And I always think that's the right thing to do, but it's not. It would just be the right thing for me. So I can be like that, and I realise I'm not selling myself that great here. But it is something that I've always struggled with, because when I was much younger, I was very, very unconfident. Not just physically, but kind of generally as a person. I kind of always felt like people don't like me, and, you know, a reality is people don't actually care, and they don't tend to really think that much about you anyway. But when you're young, you do definitely struggle with that, and I was much more shy when I was younger. I kind of didn't really ever answer back to people, and there were kind of a few people in my life that, thinking about it now, said things to me that if someone said that to me now, the reply that they would get would be really, really not very nice. But back then I was too shy and unconfident, and just didn't feel kind of good enough within myself to even reply to them, because half the time I thought what they were saying was right about me anyway. And it'd be people that would comment on your looks and things like that, and I wouldn't ever answer back. I wouldn't ever kind of defend myself. And with age, I mean, like when I say teenager, it was like when I was like 15 or whatever, so, you know, you can't expect to be this kind of force to be reckoned with when you're that age, because it is the age where you're very unconfident within yourself, because you're still learning who yourself is. And now I think I'm much tougher as a person. because that kind of comes with age. And I think YouTube has had a lot to do with that as well, because you know, you can't be overly sensitive on YouTube because the things people say to you sometimes are not very nice, and you can't take it all to heart, and it's very hard not to, I know that. But I see it a lot with kind of younger girls, and sometimes with older people as well, where there are some people that you look at and I feel like they're just 100% content with who they are as a person. And it's very important to be that way. We're not talking about, you know, being content with the size of your bum. It's being content with who you are as a person. But I don't think that that's necessarily something that comes that easily, because we're always evolving and we're always growing, and you can always be a better person. And that's kind of what I try to be. And I'm very, very aware of what my flaws as a person are, like the flaws in my personality are. I know I'm judgmental, I know that I'm very picky, and I hold everyone up to my standards, and I know that I've got very, very high standards of behaviour and morals and even manners and that kind of thing, and I just don't understand why other people aren't cooperating with me, because I think like it's just, you know, common sense, but it's not. It's just how my standards are, and I'm not a very laid back person. I like to be in control, and I like to have things done my way, and I don't really I don't react very well to things kind of being out of my control. So I do often feel like, even in real life kind of thing, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, because I can be quite opinionated, and not everyone likes that. And I think especially not everyone likes that coming from a girl, because I don't know, I mean, not to go into kind of like feminism or whatever, but I do definitely feel like, you know, if a man is, you know, taking charge and telling people what to do, he's assertive, but they'll say that the girl's being bossy. And that's something that I really struggle with. I definitely feel like I'm perceived in a certain way that isn't necessarily true. That isn't, you know, who I am. It's just kind of a reflection of what other people are seeing, but they're seeing that because of how you behave. And it's very easy to kind of think everyone's talking about me, everyone hates me. And the thing is sometimes it's down to your own insecurity and your own paranoia, but there are a lot of times when I know that certain people don't like me, and that what they're kind of saying about you is to do with like something that you've said, or something that they feel about themselves, and you just bring that out in them. It's lots of different things like that, and it's very easy to kind of just be like, oh, everyone hates me, I'm so horrible. And you have to kind of find the balance between thinking like, okay, so this person doesn't like me, and that is their problem. You know, you can like me, you can not like me, I don't really care. Then to kind of being aware of, okay, they don't like me because maybe I was a bit forceful with the opinion I was sharing, and things like that you can kind of understand. But I'm very much a person that kind of gives everything. I'm very open, and I like to kind of share things, and I love talking to people. And sometimes I think maybe I just don't think, but if you're talking about a specific subject, I'll always say like, you know, well, I wouldn't do that because blah, 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 blah. And I'm talking about me. But then the person you're talking to could think, well, hold on a minute, I do that, so that means she thinks that I'm blah, 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 blah. And it's just that kind of boring, annoying personal politics that happens to all of us that's difficult to kind of get round. So I don't know really what the point of this video was. I kind of wanted to talk about sort of being content with who you are as a person, and dealing with that kind of insecurity and feeling like people don't like you. Because at the end of the day, it's very easy to be like, well, I don't care, but we all want to be liked, you know, we all want people to think we're nice, and nobody wants to feel like, you know, everyone thinks you're horrible. It's just not a very nice feeling. But it can be very difficult to find that balance between being who you are and sugarcoating it a little bit. And that's something that kind of people say to me sometimes as well, if you just sugarcoat your opinion. But I can't. And I think it's very difficult to start that, because you're trying to be someone that you're not. And I think that only ends up leading to kind of resentment and problems, because at the end of the day, there will be people who like who you as you are. Maybe not everyone. And it's not a nice feeling to feel like, you know, you're not the most liked person. And I feel like that a lot of the time, because I can be quite, like I said, opinionated, and I'm kind of mostly surrounded by people who don't really like that and who aren't really like that as people, so I am the odd one out. But you have to just remember that kind of being you, as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're being polite, is still the best option, rather than pretending to be someone that you think everyone else might like. And I know with women a lot of the time it's that sort of thing where if you're a very sweet-natured girl and you're a very sweet-natured person, everyone likes you. Everyone likes that about girls. It's very endearing. And I'm not that girl, you know, like I'm just not like that as a person. I'm cynical and I'm sarcastic, and I'm very empathetic towards other people, and I'm very interested in things that other people have, but I'm not very sweet and adoring, and I'm just not like that as a person. I can't pretend to be like that, but it is something that I feel that kind of is expected for you to be as a girl. I'm not cutesy and I'm not girly in that kind of way, and it makes people think that you're a bitch because, you know, you're forceful and opinionated, and that's more manly. And it's something that I just kind of think about a lot, because it's something that I find happens in everyday life a lot. And let's face it, that's what I talk about on this channel quite a lot as well, is kind of everyday life stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it was really pointless, I don't know. Let me know if you've got any other ideas for woman to woman videos, because I do struggle with ideas for those. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do one about aging. I thought that would be quite interesting. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Let me know your thoughts on this subject, and if you struggle with feeling like that as well. And I will see you next time. Bye.